Listen closely. If you are like most people, you are drowning right now. You are not drowning in water. You are drowning in a sea of your own making. A sea built on three little letters: Y, E, S. We have been sold a massive, exhausting lie, a lie so deeply ingrained in our psychology that we do not even realize it is dictating every single movement we make. Since we were children, sitting in rows in a classroom, we were taught that yes is the magic word. Yes means opportunity. Yes makes you a team player. Yes makes you a good son, a good daughter, a good employee. Yes, we are told, is the ultimate key to success and happiness. You want a promotion? Say yes to extra hours. You want to be liked by your peers? Say yes to every favor they ask. You want to live a full, rich life? Say yes to every single invitation, every new project, every shiny object that crosses your path. But I want you to stop right now and look around you. Really look at the world. Look at the people who are constantly saying yes. Look at the people who never decline a meeting, who never turn down a request, who are always available. What do they look like? They are the stressed. They are the chronically fatigued. They are the overworked and the underappreciated. They are running on fumes, sprinting on a treadmill that never stops, building someone else's dream, while their own dream quietly rots away in the dark corner of their mind. They are the ultimate people pleasers. And let me tell you a brutal truth, self the world. People pleasers rarely change it. They merely maintain it for those who do. For the next 45 minutes, I am going to deconstruct everything you thought you knew about ambition, success, and human connection. I am going to show you why your agreeableness is your greatest weakness, why your desire to be helpful is actually destroying your potential, and why the only way to achieve absolute mastery over your life is to become ruthlessly, unapologetically terrifying with the word no. Let us start with the psychology of compliance. Why do we say yes when our entire body is screaming no? Why do you agree to take on that extra project at 5 p.m. on a Friday? Why do you agree to go to that social event with people you do not even genuinely like? It comes down to evolutionary biology. Millions of years ago, to be rejected by the tribe meant death. If you were not agreeable, if you did not conform, you were cast out into the wilderness to be eaten. We are biologically wired to seek harmony, to avoid conflict, to be accepted. So, when someone asks you for something, the primitive part of your brain perceives a potential rejection of their request as a threat to your own survival. You feel a spike of anxiety, you feel guilt, and to alleviate that terrible feeling, you say yes. You sacrifice your time, your energy, and your peace just to buy a temporary illusion of safety. You are paying a ransom to your own anxiety. But we do not live in the wilderness anymore. We live in a hyper-connected, hyper-competitive modern economy where attention and time are the most valuable currencies on Earth. And in this environment, your primitive instinct to say yes is being weaponized against you. Society is structured to extract maximum value from agreeable people. Corporations run on the unpaid overtime of employees who are too afraid to set boundaries. Toxic relationships thrive on the endless patience of partners who do not know how to walk away. The system loves a yes man. The system rewards a yes man with more work, more responsibility, and more stress, while paying them the absolute minimum required to keep them from quitting. You think saying yes makes you valuable. It actually makes you cheap. Economic theory dictates that value is driven by scarcity. Gold is valuable because it is rare. Dirt is worthless because it is everywhere. When you are always available, when your yes is given freely to anyone who asks, your time becomes dirt. You become a commodity. People do not respect what they can get easily. Think about the people you respect the most. Think about the high-status individuals, the leaders, the elite performers in any field. Are they always available? Can you just walk up to them and demand an hour of their time? Absolutely not. There are gates, there are barriers. Their time is heavily guarded because they understand its absolute scarcity. They command respect precisely because they are inaccessible to the trivial demands of the world. Here is the hard, uncomfortable truth that nobody teaches you in school. Success is not about how much you can handle. It is not about your capacity to endure suffering or your ability to juggle 50 tasks at once. Success is about how much you have the courage to reject. Every single time you say yes to something unimportant, you are implicitly saying no to what truly matters. It is a zero-sum game. There are only 24 hours in a day. Your cognitive energy is a finite resource that depletes with every decision you make. When you say yes to that pointless meeting, you just said no to deep, focused work that could actually move the needle on your career. When you say yes to another favor you silently resent, you just said no to your own peace of mind and recovery. When you say yes to an average opportunity out of fear of missing out, you just blinded yourself to a great opportunity that requires your full, undivided attention. You are bleeding out. You are dying the death of 1,000 tiny commitments. I want you to imagine your life as a beautifully carved piece of marble, a masterpiece. How does a sculptor create a masterpiece? They do not do it by adding more clay. They do not do it by piling more material onto the stone. They do it by stripping away everything that is not the masterpiece. They chisel away the excess. They violently remove the unnecessary. That is what the word no is. It is the chisel. It is the tool you use to carve your life. Without the ability to say no, you are just a formless block of stone, letting everyone else walk by and carve their initials into you. Many people believe that if they start saying no, they will miss out on the magic of life. They suffer from the illusion of infinite optionality. They think that keeping all doors open is the ultimate strategy. But keeping all doors open means you never actually walk through any of them. You stand in the hallway of your life, paralyzed by choices, trying to peek into every room without ever committing to one. Greatness requires commitment, and commitment requires exclusion. You cannot become a master pianist if you are also trying to be a master chef, a master athlete, and a master linguist, all at the same time. You have to look at perfectly good, interesting paths, and have the absolute arrogance to say, no, that is not for me. I am doing this. Let us dive deeper into the emotional cost of the yes. Have you ever noticed the quiet, simmering anger that lives inside people who always agree? The resentment? It is a very specific type of poison. When you say yes, when you mean no, you are essentially lying. You are lying to the other person, but more importantly, you are lying to yourself. You are telling your subconscious mind that your needs, your boundaries, and your time are less important than the temporary comfort of a stranger or a colleague. Over time, this constant self-betrayal erodes your self-esteem. You start to dislike the people you are helping. You feel taken advantage of. But the bitter irony is, no one is taking advantage of you. You are volunteering for your own exploitation. You handed them the knife. The transition from a yes person to a no person is going to feel incredibly uncomfortable. I will not lie to you. When you start setting boundaries, the system will push back. People are used to you being their reliable workhorse, their emotional dumping ground, their endless well of favors. When that well suddenly dries up, they will be shocked. They will be disappointed. They might even try to manipulate you by calling you selfish, arrogant, or difficult. Let them call you difficult. Being called difficult by people who want to exploit your time is a badge of honor. It means the boundary is working. It means the shield is up. You must develop an absolute tolerance for being misunderstood. You must become comfortable with the disappointment of others. If you cannot handle someone being slightly upset with you because you protected your time, you will never, ever achieve greatness. You will be a slave to public opinion until the day you die. Think about the concept of the silent no. You do not always have to explain yourself. One of the biggest mistakes people make when trying to reject something is over-explaining. I would love to, but my dog is sick, and I have this project, and my car broke down. Stop. When you offer a dozen excuses, you are negotiating. You are handing the other person ammunition to solve your excuses. If you say your car broke down, they will say they can pick you up. If you say you are busy, they will ask about next week. A true, powerful no is a complete sentence. No, I cannot commit to this. No, that does not align with my current priorities. No, I am passing on this. Silence. The more words you use to defend your boundary, the weaker the boundary becomes. You need to understand the profound silence that follows a life governed by the word no. When you start clearing away the clutter, the useless obligations, the toxic friendships, the busy work, something terrifying happens. Your schedule empties out. You suddenly have space. And for a lot of people, this space is terrifying. When you are constantly busy, you do not have to face yourself. Busyness is the ultimate anesthetic. It numbs you to the reality of your life. But when you say no to the noise, you are left alone with your own thoughts. You have to face your actual ambitions, your deep fears, your true potential. This is the moment most people break and run back to the comfort of being overwhelmed. They beg for the chains back. But if you can sit in that silence, if you can endure the initial shock of an empty calendar, you will experience a clarity so sharp it will cut glass. You will finally be able to hear your own voice. You will have the energy to dedicate hundreds of hours to a single, magnificent obsession. You will build leverage. You will build competence. While the rest of the world is scattered into 1,000 different directions, fighting over scraps of attention, you will be a laser beam burning through steel. Do not be confused by the reverse psychology of the world. The world tells you to be open. The world tells you to be agreeable. The world wants you soft, compliant, and infinitely busy. Because a busy, exhausted population is easy to control and easy to monetize. Rebellion in the modern age does not look like riots in the street. Rebellion looks like a quietly closed door. Rebellion looks like a phone left on airplane mode. Rebellion looks like a calm, unblinking refusal to participate in the chaos. This is not about being a hermit. This is not about never helping anyone or never experiencing new things. It is about shifting from a default state of yes to a default state of no. Your baseline should be rejection. A new opportunity must fight for its right to exist in your life. It must prove its worth. It must be so undeniably brilliant, so profoundly aligned with your ultimate vision that you are compelled to say yes. If it is not a hell yes, it is a definitive no. There is no middle ground. The middle ground is where dreams go to die of mediocrity. I want you to think about your life up until this very second. Look back at your biggest regrets. Look back at the periods of maximum stress, the times you felt totally lost, the relationships that drained your soul, the jobs that made you dread waking up in the morning. Trace them back to their origin. At the very beginning of every single one of those miserable experiences was a moment where you should have said no, but you swallowed your instinct and said yes. You traded your future for a momentary hit of social approval. You cannot get that time back. It is gone forever, but you have tomorrow. And tomorrow, the world is going to come knocking again. It will come disguised as a favor. It will come disguised as a great networking opportunity. It will come disguised as a harmless, quick question. And when it does, I want you to remember the immense power you hold in your lungs. I want you to feel the weight of your own finite existence. Stop being a victim of your own compliance. Stop letting the world dictate your daily agenda. Guard your time like a dragon hoarding gold. Pause, take a deep breath, look them straight in the eye, and use the single most powerful, destructive, and creative word in the human language: no.